It's always beautiful to share insights about life and to always seek to grow and expand and evolve and create more happiness in our lives. Actually, when you think about it, when I look at it, happiness is at the peak of everything. That is the reason as to why we work. It's the reason as to why we relate. It's the reason as to why we go on vacations. It's the reason as to why we buy things. It's the reason as to why we literally do everything. And the decisions that we make, it's because we are avoiding failure, we are avoiding pain, and all we want to do is to swing onto the side of happiness. And I believe that we can actually do that. So I'm Bahati Hilda Sabiti, and welcome to this beautiful episode where we talk about happiness. Okay, it's not a one size fits all, and there is no definition for happiness. Every one of us has moments where they feel happy, where they feel joyful, where they feel, on top of the world, and because of different things. I don't want you to ever think that happiness is all about having more money, or it's about driving big cars, or being in big houses, or having a huge family. Of there's a way we attach, or we want happiness to mean something, and when we attach that happiness to that particular thing, you realize then we cease to be happy most of the times, because our needs as human beings are quite recurring and we can never be satisfied. We have that insatiable hunger and thirst for things. So happiness does not equal to things. And when you talk about happiness, and I said that it's not a one size fits all, you realize that you can name your own happiness. And amongst the things that we're going to talk about are the things that have actually helped me heighten, because this is a question I've been I think a student of life, learning from every situation, growing up and, just emerging and evolving from the different circumstances. And I think for me, what it has done, it has helped me see the true meaning of happiness and how to actually heighten it. And that heightening happiness does not equal to my bank account being huge, does not equal to being in a huge house or having anything. It actually goes back to the small things. And I've mapped them so seriously in my life, done some of these things that I'm going to share, and I believe that they have helped me so much, and I know that they're going to help you so much. And one of the things that I want us to share is actually looking for happiness in the right places. Looking for happiness in the right places. Now, these are some of the things that I named my situations. You can find your name for any situation or for any point that I'm going to put across. Just rename it and own it, and it is yours, because I also named it according to how I did it. Now, when there's a song I actually love, it's a country song, and it says that if you want to find gold, go looking in the mountains. If you want to find diamonds or silver, go digging in the stones. That if you want to find healing, go reading in the Bible. And then if you want to find love, go looking at home. Like, for me, it really, really nailed it. And while I was actually coming here this morning, it was the song that was ringing and ringing and ringing, because I knew I wanted to talk about happiness. That look for happiness in the right places. We are looking for happiness in all the wrong places. We're looking for happiness in the bars. We're looking for happiness between women's legs. We're looking for happiness in men's lives. We're looking for happiness in the big houses, in the big cars, in having a lot of money. We're looking for happiness in bars. We're looking for happiness in brothels. We're looking for happiness in relationships. We're looking for happiness in all the wrong, in having a good paying job. That is not where happiness is found. Happiness is found in you. It's a state of being, okay? It's not something that you get to and you're like, I have arrived. We are in constant creation of happiness. And that is why I said, if you look for it in the right places, for example, that artist said, if you want to find love, go back looking for it at home. Some of us want to find love so many places, in cheating, in doing everything. And someone is saying, no, wrap up your day. Go back home to a loving wife. Go back home to loving children. Go back home to a warm meal. Go back home to, to a warm house. And that is where you're going to find love. You are not going to find love looking for the tall, slender, brown, dark-skinned, wanting to test the whole world. That is not how you find love. And when it comes to happiness, I will say that the same principle for me, it has applied, that I have to look for happiness in the right places. Just when I'm with my husband, just when we are talking about our future, just when we are taking our children to school, just when we are seated and just having a hearty laugh as a family about something that maybe Ariella has mentioned. And I said, you guys are just wasting a lot of time in the morning. Instead of taking us to school, you're just there, crossing, and moving around. And you're like, where did she get that from? And you're laughing about that. And you're like, I don't need any external validation or things that people will look at and say, wow, that woman is happy. No, it's a state of being. That means I own it, I personalize it, and I go back to myself. So I can be happy without money. I can be happy without any cars. I can be happy without any houses. Do they increase the meaning of life, or not even the meaning of life, but how we live life? Okay, it does. It makes life easy. Having a car makes life easy. Having a home makes life good, But when you want to attach your meaning of happiness to a big house, to a big, to more shopping, or to a vacation, then you have missed the point. Go back home. Go back into yourself and see that happiness actually resides there. So when we talk about happiness, I know so many of us click or understand it in so many different ways. One other way that I have found so true when it comes to happiness is constantly investing in myself and in my personal growth. That is something that has heightened my sense of happiness. I usually tell people, my mentees in accelerated mentorship, and I tell them that when you find your purpose and when you find your passion, and we're going to talk about passion just a little bit later, but when you find your purpose, when you find your passion, and when you invest in yourself, in acquiring knowledge, in acquiring knowing the sense of direction, where you want to go, let me tell you, you have nailed, I think, 80% or 90% of what you need in life. Okay, so the constant investing in yourself, investing time, investing energy, investing money into yourself to make sure that you acquire the skills, the knowledge, okay? Because it's in those skills that we find satisfaction when we do certain things that we are meant to do, because they are within us. We have the ability to do them. Now we acquire the skill to be able to execute them. And after executing them, we find a sense of happiness. We find a sense of satisfaction. We find a sense of fulfillment. What is happiness without fulfillment and without satisfaction? Okay, so for me, it has been investing in courses. For me, it has been investing in a mentor. For me, it has been investing in my time, in myself, to make sure that I grow intentionally. Not to think that, growth is, just like I grow in age and grow in body, so my personal growth is going to take the same. It doesn't happen like that. You have to plan your personal growth. You have to plan the time frame that you want it. Why do you want it tomorrow if you can have it today? Why do you want to start next year if you can do it this time? Tomorrow is not promised to anyone. It's not guaranteed. Why don't you pull down and bring down your happiness to today and start executing the things that you need to execute? So for me, remember, I am sharing the things that have helped me heighten my happiness. You can have, a mediocre kind of happiness. Today you're happy, tomorrow you're not happy, and, it's out of your control. You feel like everything else that makes you happy is just outside of your control. So that means you must work triple hard to make sure that you get to them. You must, work so hard to sustain them. It's like sustaining a relationship for wrong reasons because you fear being alone and you're holding on for dear life. That is not happiness, okay? So for me, owning my journey of personal growth, getting the skills that I need. And I am not yet there. I am not yet there. I'm still in the phase of preparation. You guys have not seen anything. So if I can say that about myself, how about you take it upon yourself? And let me just add on to that, investing your time, energy, and money into yourself, but taking personal responsibility, just being responsible for yourself. You know, so many times we have left things to chances, and we have left responsibility, we have given our responsibility to other people to actually own our lives and drive our lives. So you decide where you want to go, what you do, when you do it, and all that. But remember, that's not going to bring happiness, because they are going to lead you down the path that they know or they think is right. So what is right for you? If you take personal responsibility, it's like saying that, you know what, I want to drive this car and I want to go to a particular place, and this is where I want, and maybe I don't know exactly where I want to arrive, but this is the route that I want to take. So I've nailed the direction because I've invested in myself, I've invested my time, my energy, my resources in my personal growth. I have locked in the direction. So now I'm taking personal responsibility to be consistent and persistent to make sure that I pursue the path that I have chosen to actually take. Because if you let anyone else decide, they are going to take you in the path that they think is right for you, and you're going to arrive at a destination where you're going to ask yourself, this is not where I wanted to be. I wanted to be in a totally different place. I wanted to be in a place where I transform lives. I wanted to be in a place where I make impact. I wanted to be at a place where I'm just not earning a lot of money. Because if you leave it up to, let me say, to another person, could be your boss, could be your spouse, could be, maybe what they want is make more money, make more money. So they're going to encourage you, you know, get that promotion, go for it, keep going. And so you arrive at a destination where you have all the money in the world, but again, you don't have a sense of fulfillment and a sense of satisfaction. So you are the kind who can say, if you own it up, you say, you know what, yes, I want the money, but again, I want the fulfillment and satisfaction. And what does that look for me? It looks like impacting lives and transforming lives. And if I feel this upon my life, then I'm going to pursue a road that is less traveled, okay? Because most people would rather take more money. But I am going to take a road that is less traveled, build my brand, you know, give as much content or much transformation or much impact, a lot more to other people, be a lot more kind while I earn. And the earning will be an added advantage, but your first priority will be impacting lives, transforming lives, and doing what you are supposed to do, fulfilling your purpose on earth and your passion on earth. And while we talk about passion, remember, because I'm looping these things and I hope that you can get them, because I am talking about my personal life. So I'm just going to be as open as possible, and as free as possible, and as fluid as possible, because when I remember something I did, I just bring it on, okay? Now, when we talk about purpose, remember, we're just getting out of taking personal responsibility of your life, investing in yourself, looking for happiness in the right places. Now, when we talk about passion, I just don't want you to look for passion.